Thanks for watching this video of the Learning and Development Quick Scan, which is helpful for learning and development departments or HR departments to define where do we currently focus our learning and development proposition towards and what do we ideally want to do. After completing this quick scan, you will have a clear overview about what to stop doing, what to start doing, but also what to continue the way you already do. And I will walk with you along all the pieces of the pie, for instance compliance, and I would like to ask you to rate how much of your time are you currently spending on compliance and how much would you ideally like to spend on compliance. And to help you, I provided an Excel document which helps you to fill in all the numbers, for instance compliance, and make sure that you divide 100 points over the columns, the current and the desired situation. And at the end you will get a clear overview about where the gaps and the discrepancies are. The download link of this document can be found in the comment box below, and ideally each team member individually fills in this quick scan first before having a group discussion together on the outcome. Okay, let's jump straight in. The upper half is about the what. How do you add value as learning and development? And the first piece of the pie is about compliance, which has to do with laws and regulations, everything that is mandatory, and most of the cases the key focus is to avoid risks. It could be that even an experienced forklift driver needs to renew his certificate every few years. But also working in a finance department, sometimes it's mandatory to do certain trainings to have a license to operate in your profession. Then jumping to functional skills, these are really skills in the here and now to make sure that you are able to be successful in your current role, bridging a skill gap. It could be in a production environment that somebody has a practical on-the-job training to work on a packaging line, but it could also be that an IT professional has a system training on a new system that he needs to work with. Talent leadership and professional development has a bit more long-term focus compared to functional skills. So it's really about growing the professional towards the future in terms of employability, attracting and retaining the talented people for your organization. Think about a black belt training that you're able to do, or when you're struggling with setting priorities and getting your planning right, the possibility to participate in the training time management. Performance improvement is a bit different because there we don't start with a learning objective, but you actually start with a business challenge. What business performance do we need to improve, and what does it mean for the development of our people? So maybe you see that a certain product isn't being sold as much as we would like to. So we'll organize extra sales training for this specific product to boost the sales. But especially in maintenance organization or production organizations, you see that the whole continuous improvement mindset is a great example of performance improvement, where you actually try to make little improvements over time in order to boost profitability, etc. And finally, change, culture and strategy have an even longer term focus. And the starting point are here the organizational goals. Where are we going with this organization and what does it mean for our people? And maybe the organization adopts an agile way of working, which means that all employees also need to be enabled and trained to do so. But maybe you realize that the current leadership population isn't up to speed for what the organization actually needs, and you do initiate a leadership transformation program. So here are the organizational challenges leading to define what you organize in terms of learning and development. Then we focus on the downside of the circle, the how you actually organize your work. The first thing is about coordination and organization. This is really the practical hands-on stuff, right? Making sure there's a planning for the training, making sure that the learning management system is up to date and clean, etc. After that, we see production and facilitation. Here it really is about producing learning content, creating e-learnings, or even facilitating workshops or training for your organization. Again, just like all the pieces of the pie, rate your current and your most desired state. Moving to an academy is really an entity where employees can go virtually to see what learning opportunities there are, and the work that goes around it is really a coordination, making sure that you have the right preferred suppliers, you have the right offering, but also doing marketing and communication to make sure that what is available is also attractive and accessible for your people. Learning and development can also organize themselves as a project department to adopt learning and development advisors to the strategic projects of an organization where learning is just a small aspect of the bigger change that you're trying to achieve. And sometimes learning and development can also drive HR initiatives. For instance, if you organize a new methodology on continuous dialogue with managers, maybe learning and development has a whole project to drive with creating content, implementing, etc., etc. And finally, strategic advice. This has a long-term focus and you're more the role of a consultant. And sitting down on a regular basis with senior leaders to understand where is the safety department heading towards and what does it mean for skill building, for instance. But also proactively advising the organization about trends that you're seeing in terms of talent, skill building, technologies, etc., etc., and making sure that your organization is future-proof in that aspect. Okay, this was a very quick explanation of all the pieces of the pie. I hope that you paused between the pieces to make sure that you indicated a rating. And ideally, now you have a clear overview about where the biggest discrepancies are between your current and your desired focus. And this could be a very interesting starting point to have a group discussion with your colleagues to see where you agree or where you maybe disagree, and then to identify the more strategic future focus of learning and development. Thanks for watching.